Nobody cares about this. I'm fully aware of the fact that nobody cares about this, but I do. So I want to talk about it anyways. And this channel is just kind of me sitting here talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. So put on your seatbelts. We're talking about it. It's Asian Cup qualifying, which was going on at the same time as World Cup qualifying. So I do not blame you for not noticing what was going on here, right? Only true sickos would pay attention to any of this. But there was some serious drama that a lot of people cared about that I just would love to dive into, right? I'm gonna catch up on all the groups though, because, you know, why the hell not? We're here. Group A, you have to win your group to go to the Asian Cup. It's coming down to one final match. And a lot of these are coming down to one final match, which are happening in March, by the way. So if you do want to tune in for some drama, there's going to be World Cup qualifying going on. But the real drama, obviously, because who cares about the World Cup, right? The real drama is going to be the Asian Cup qualifying that's happening in that same window. So in Group A, you have Tajikistan and the Philippines, who unsurprisingly have separated from Timor-Leste and the Maldives. They drew in their opening match 2-2. It was actually quite a little showdown. It was a second half goal by the Philippines that was able to kind of level things. The return leg is going to be in Tajikistan. So they are at home with the goal difference advantage. So a draw would send them to the Asian Cup. That's going to be a whole barrel of laughs. Both these teams picked up monster wins. Actually, the Philippines only beat the Maldives 2-0, which is kind of embarrassing considering that country is going to be underwater in 10 years, but who knows? Group B's got Lebanon and Yemen showing down for a spot, while Bhutan and Brunei are going through it. I'm going to give Bhutan a huge shout out here. They've somehow managed to draw against Yemen, which is the only reason that Yemen is not in first. That makes absolutely no sense. Yemen has obviously been through a lot. This is a country that is in civil war, that is completely war-torn. So if they were actually able to make it, that'd be cool. I'm kind of sad that they did not manage to beat Bhutan, because if they did, their goal difference would have them in first. Lebanon's a big favorite here, and Lebanon is at home in the second leg. That match is obviously happening in March, like I said. If Yemen happens to go to Lebanon and win, they will be going to the Asian Cup, though, and so that would be something nice for them. I generally root for teams that represent nations that are going through some sort of massive war event, just because, you know, it'd be nice if your house is being bombed to be able to go, hey, look, at least we're in the Asian Cup. Like, that's cool, right? You know, sports, I mean, obviously it's more intense than that, but sports has a nice power to do that. So, I mean, no offense to Lebanon, but I kind of hope Yemen wins that match. But shout out to Bhutan for getting that draw, because they have no business getting that draw. Group C, Singapore and Hong Kong. We got a couple of cities battling against each other, and Singapore got the better of them with a big win, 2-1 at Hong Kong to clinch qualification because of the head-to-head stuff. So Singapore is through. They are going to the Asian Cup. But my favorite thing that happened was something else that went down in this group. I'm going to catch up on the other groups before we dive into my favorite thing. Group D, Turkmenistan and Thailand. Seemingly every group except for this one has ended up being, you know, has ended up being just two teams going at it. Thailand's at home against Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan has the advantage here because they actually won. They have the head-to-head advantage. They won 3-1 at home against Thailand in the last match. The problem for Turkmenistan is they lost to Sri Lanka. So I don't know how that happened. Sri Lanka used to be the worst not microstate in the world. They seem to be on the come up. And honestly, most of South Asia does, with one massive exception that you might have noticed. But Turkmenistan and Thailand showdown in Thailand. If Thailand can get a win, which they have to get a win because they lost to Turkmenistan the first time, Thailand will be going to the Asian Cup. If not, it's Turkmenistan. The rise of Central Asia continues. In Group E, Syria's already clinched it. They beat Myanmar in back-to-back matches by a combined score of 8-1. This group sucks. As an expert on bad national teams, this is a particularly bad group. But Pakistan, who used to be terrible, has mustered 2 draws against Afghanistan. So nice results for them. I'm proud of them. And then in Group F, you have Malaysia and Vietnam going against each other. The first time they showed down, Malaysia won 4-0, so Vietnam's basically out unless they can duplicate that result. And Malaysia will be headed to the Asian Cup. Laos and Nepal, see you later. So what was the thing? I am not making this video specifically to show you the Asian Cup table. I'm making this video specifically to talk to you about one result. It's right here. All right, Bangladesh, along with Sri Lanka, has long been represented by one of the worst non-microstate national teams to exist. I mean, I'm talking non-microstate. I'm saying like outside of Andorra, who could probably beat India right now, to be perfectly honest. But outside of your Timor-Lestes, your Bruneis, over 1 million people. So I'm going to throw, Bhutan and Maldives in there, even though they're not technically microstates. They have less than 1 million people. One of the worst national teams you could get. I once made a video about how Sri Lanka was like provably the worst non-micro national team in the world. Bangladesh was very close in that video. They have since added dual nationality, and they have Hamza Chowdhury. Yes, like the Leicester City Hamza Chowdhury is on the Bangladeshi national team, and it's made a difference. They mustered a draw, a 0-0 draw with India in their opening match of this qualifying group, which was huge news. They competed really hard with Singapore. They only lost 2-1. I made a whole video about this insane match against Hong Kong, where they went down 3-1, came back and tied it, and then somehow blew it in the last 2 minutes of stoppage time anyways. Like the drama was insane, but they were alive. And then the next match at Hong Kong, they drew 1-1. So it is not impossible to conceive that Bangladesh would have been competing for a qualifying spot for the Asian Cup, given the way they've played. It didn't work out that way. Singapore obviously got the huge results they needed against Hong Kong. And so Bangladesh was sunk. But that didn't stop them from maybe trying to achieve a famous result anyways, which Bangladesh managed to get. With Hamza Chowdhury starting right in the middle of the team, they grabbed a 1-0 win at home against India, which just has to be like an unbelievable embarrassment for India. Now, I, not that long ago, was excited about the Indian national team. Asian Cup 2019. Let me fire that up for you. The Asian Cup 2019, India, I believe, made it. Unless I'm hallucinating and it was a different... they made it. Not only did they make it, qualifying for the Asian Cup, they won a match. The Indian national team destroyed Thailand 4-1 in the opening match and played UAE and Bahrain tough. Bahrain scored a 91st minute goal to knock India out of potentially going to the knockout rounds of this tournament. That is an incredible... I mean, considering where India has been, that is a remarkably good performance in the Asian Cup. And I would have thought that they were going to capitalize on that. But they didn't. They didn't show any life in World Cup qualifying. They showed up in Asian Cup qualifying and did not do well. This is your World Cup qualifying section. Qatar and Oman were so far ahead of India, it wasn't even funny. Asian Cup third qualifying round. We can zero in on that, find the teams that might or might not have qualified. India did qualify ahead of Hong Kong and Afghanistan, but they showed up and they didn't score a goal. They lost. I mean, to be fair, this is a tough group as far as Asian Cup groups go. Australia, Uzbekistan, and Syria. They lost 3-0 to Uzbekistan, 2-0 to Australia, and a hearty 1-0 defeat to Syria. But I mean, back-to-back Asian Cup appearances, maybe there's still some optimism. Now? I mean, come on. They drew Bangladesh and they drew Singapore, but they lost to Singapore, they lost to Hong Kong, and now they've lost to Bangladesh. They've lost to every team in this group at least once. They've got an opportunity to lose a second time to Hong Kong, who again is already eliminated, so that's a complete dead rubber match. But look what this meant to Bangladesh. I mean, the first time since 1999 they've managed to beat India. Clearly Bangladesh is investing in their team. They're trying to win. Here you go.
Javier Cabrera তিনি যে ফোর্থ অফিশিয়ালের কাছে যাচ্ছেন এবং বাংলাদেশের 22 বছরের অপেক্ষার মোচন হলো এই জাতীয় স্টেডিয়াম.
And allow me to direct your attention as we look at the cheering fans here to my absolute dog down here who just rips that shirt. He just rips that shirt right off and starts swinging it in the air. And I mean, if that's not what it's all about. Because the way I look at it, right, obviously I'm not a huge cricket guy. I love all sports, but not my main one. South Asia is very similar to South America. All those different countries in there, they hate all the other ones for various reasons. They got solid reasons to do so. There's just a lot of beef all around there. But Bangladesh is one of the smaller ones. They get punched down on. They get punched down on by India. They get punched down on by Pakistan too. So for Bangladesh, dude, this fucking honking. Honk one more time. That's what I thought. But for Bangladesh, investing in football is an opportunity to punch up at these other countries in South Asia that just can't even figure it out. And India looked like they might have been figuring it out a little bit, but they certainly aren't now. Bangladesh, all of a sudden, out of all of the South Asian nations, looks like the one that might be figuring it out the most. And they certainly have the best player in Hamza Chowdhury. So I'm excited to see what they might be able to do in the future. Congrats to them.